these quotes from Yordan Alvarez, I don't know if you saw these blankers, but they're mysterious, very curious. Still have no idea what the actual injury is. Here's some of the quotes. It's also interesting too because like I look at the Astros of having like three beat guys, like Chandler Rome for the Athletic, Kawahara for the Chronicle, and then McTaggart for MLB.com. Like those are the three. So like those are like the triad, I guess, of Astro beat guys that I like to get information from. And the way like. And you know how like every writer has like their way of speaking. Like it could be positive, it could be snarky, it could be negative. And it is interesting reading the three stories from like back to back to back from each of these guys because each article gives you a very different perspective, tone? Maybe tone. Yep. That's the word. Yep. All three of these articles give you a very different tone. I felt the most negative was probably Rome's. Whereas Kawahara was pretty positive. Actually, McTaggart, I think, was just kind of like right down the middle. But here, I'll start with Rome first. Yordan Alvarez answering the question, will you have to deal with the hand, all year? Yordan says, I wish not, but I don't know. If I have to deal with it, it will be for the rest of the season. I think I need to rest it, but again, I need to come back and play. I think I'm in the right direction right now to come back and play. What? What? I don't know what that means. You've been resting it.
Yeah, that's... Again, because of the fact that, and you'll get into it with some of the later quotes, you're sitting there and we're all playing the mystery game of what the hell is it? And Dana was referring to a fractured bone that was 60% healed a few weeks ago. He's basically saying that no matter what, that it needs more rest, and I probably should rest it the rest of the year, but I can't because they need me. And then that just leads you to not only have all kinds of questions about when and if you do come back, how good is it going to feel and what are you going to be able to do? But then as it relates to the long term, how fixable is it?
That's what, like, I don't know what the injury is. I don't think anybody knows what the injury is. Like, what injury needs, like, 18 months of rest without any surgery? Another one for Yordan, talking about the injury in his hand. Where the pain is in the hand, it's a little bit difficult to have surgery there. That's why I say I need a little bit of rest right now. It's an area where normally we don't get surgery in that area, but I think it isn't something I'll have to keep dealing with. What?
I mean, here's the typhoon of a swirling wind that you're going, how did you just come full circle and basically say where it's at, you don't have surgery there, but that's why I need the rest, and then come back with, but I think it's not something we have to keep dealing with. We've been dealing with it all year, and it ain't gotten any better.
I'm at a loss. Like, I don't know. Like, I almost wonder if, like, the Astros have like recommended surgery and Yordan's like, I'm good. But like that's a leap. That's a massive reach. I understand that. But that's the mystery of this. I get no information when Yordan speaks. He's like, I need rest, but I'm feeling better. I don't think it's going to like mess with me for the rest of the year, but I need rest and I just need more rest. What? Like, I don't get it. Here was Kawahara, a little bit more of a positive outlook. The quote, Yordan said that he's headed in the right direction. Okay, I guess that's good that he's headed in the right direction, better than being headed in the wrong direction. Alvarez said he swung at 60 to 65%, and his hand is feeling well. Okay, like I guess that's positive. Yordan on steps towards returning. I wish I could know that right now. We're trying to be careful about this whole thing, trying to take it to the best point, and then we'll know when I can come back. So definitively no timeline on Yordan.
Right, and here's the thing, Jeremy, we've been there and done that. We already know that he's done the swinging off the tee. We know that we've gotten to the point of swinging off a pitching machine. We already know that we've gotten him close, and we've dangled the carrot in front of everybody's face to say, here he is, he's getting close. And then we know he was shut down when he started facing live pitching, and that it hurt like hell, and that it didn't get any better. So nothing that I'm hearing here gives me the hope and belief that, one, he's getting better to the point where once he comes back, he's going to be okay. And two, more importantly, that we haven't been there and done this before and got turned down right at the doorstep and sent packing for another couple of weeks. I can't get excited about it.
Yordan was on the brink of facing live pitching in Florida on July 1st. This was the most recent one, and then shut it down. Quote, it was the same area as the initial injury. I was worried because I woke up that day and the plan was to hit off pitchers, but I couldn't really grip the bat because the hand was swollen. But I think after the injections, that really helped and it responded well. Now, it has been reported that he's had injections prior to this, that he's had injections throughout this entire injury. So, like, why should we believe that these injections are going to work this time?
I mean, all we're basing a lot of this off of, which is so entirely frustrating, is just what he's willing to say. Like whether he's willing to tell them, "Ooh, that hurt," or "I don't feel good today," or "This set of injections worked," as opposed to like you hear all this and you're listening to all this and you're going, okay, so what's the medical staff doing and what are we doing? Like, because we know there's only, it sounds like basically what they're telling you without telling you is if we just shoot it up the rest of the year, he'll be able to get back at a certain point and fight his way through. And then you just don't know how good he's going to be and how that really is going to affect how, if he changes his grip or how it does to alter his hitting. But it also doesn't give you any encouragement for the long term either that this thing's going to be fixed, solved, and just be behind us after this season.
No, it's a lot was said here and nothing was told. Like it's kind of the Casario word salad. Like I'm more confused now than I was before.
But plus, even when you are trying to like get a decoder ring and fight through and read between the lines, been there and done that. Been there and seen everything in this new timetable is just like the old timetable that you referenced. Like we've already seen the hitting off a tee and swinging a bat and then getting in the cage and then getting to the point of live pitching. And it didn't end well. So what's to believe that this time, it's better and we're shooting it up and he's still getting shots? And I don't know.
Junior says it's a fracture in his ring finger metacarpal. I don't think that's the only thing going on with his hand because, like, he had hand injuries in the past. I understand that he had that they found the broken bone that was 60% healed, but if it was 60% healed at that point, he should be back. Like, I think that there's more going on than just the fourth metacarpal being the issue. Another one from this one's actually from a Spada talking about Yordan. I think it's important for us to give this time and get it right, and I think he's doing everything in his power to get it right. But I do like where he's at right now, so I guess that's positive. And then one from McTaggart that I didn't find in the other stories was Yordan saying, it's not a secret that I've been out for more than a couple of months, but we want to do everything without rushing it. It's a delicate situation with the hand. It has been frustrating, but we're being smart about this, and we're taking it to the point where we're progressing, and that's the most important part. That's what's going to help me come back and play. So
I almost think that's almost like a parting shot at Dana, too, in the fact that we don't know who we is, but we certainly know that he doesn't want to rush it, which might indicate that the fact that he maybe got frustrated with the fact that everybody was on this timetable to kind of push him through and get him back quicker because it had taken so long already, and that now this time they're not doing that.
See, that thought crossed my mind, too. Like whenever I read that quote specifically, I'm like, Like, and you had Dana saying, like, expediting the injury, like, expediting the process, rather, once he's, like, capable of holding a bat. And Yordan's like, I think we need to ease, not expedite. Texter says it was all translated from Spanish. I'm sure it sounds better in Spanish. Like, there's something to that. Like, that maybe there are things that are lost in translation. I was frustrated that I couldn't find video of this. Like, I couldn't find Yordan. Maybe there wasn't a camera there. Maybe it was just the writing press that was there.
But if the writing press has a phone, especially if they always take notes, you don't need to take notes if you record it and go back and reference it.
I tried to find it and I couldn't because I mean I could understand a little bit of Spanish. I was trying to find the context a little better.
Here's the thing too. Let's think about this from the perspective of what Junior Bronco said. Well, it could be you can say that it's the metacarpal, but when he describes in one of the first quotes that you read from Chandler Rome about the fact that where the pain is in the hand, it's a little bit difficult to have surgery there. Well, it almost indicates to me that you can have surgery on a break. You can do things to try and to try and bring a break closer together. To me, I got the feeling like this was separate from the break that they've been dealing with.
The inflammation has to be like this. Texture says I'm not a doctor, but I'm not real sure there's any type of injection that could heal a fracture. Exactly. Like they're not injecting the hand because of the fracture. They're injecting the hand because there's inflammation going on in his hand. That well past the bone healing. So, like, that's why there has to be some other stuff going on with Yordan's hand. Like, why is he getting 2 injections 4 weeks after it was 60% healed? Yeah, it doesn't add up.
No.
Like, it makes no sense. Goodness, let's hope we don't have another Lance injury and put it off for the next 2 or 3 years. Yeah, like that's why I just don't like. I don't know what it is. Like we know he had a broken bone, but like, why is he getting the injections? Is the inflammation ever going to settle down? What is the surgery that they kind of alluded to and said, well, it doesn't really happen there. Has that been on the table? Has that been an option? Like it's a mystery.
And here's the thing to me with the Lance McCullough reference is I understand that there's a certain timetable and there's everybody with a certain level of concern because there's an urgency with the season. If we're still dealing with this in the off season, they better damn well figure out something that can be done in the off season so that we're not dealing with it again next year. Because that's what we did with Lance. And that's where we heard the multitude of excuses and reasons and follow-ups that had us going, well, why hasn't anything been done yet? Why isn't there a bigger procedure that can be done to rectify it? What are we doing to try and, stop what you're dealing with? You don't want this to continue and linger through the offseason with Yordan and everybody just kind of sit on their hands and not have anything that can be done in the offseason when there is no games to worry about and no timetable to rush him back for, that by the time you start the season next year that we're not dealing with this anymore.
Big C says, I would let the Astros medical staff manage a common cold for me. It's a good point.
Junior Broncos feel that way.
If it's going to take 8 weeks, Yordan's going to take 10. He's on Yordan time. This texture, I would bet he has arthritis and or carpal tunnel. Look, I've let my mind wander there. Like, why are they being so coy about this? Why does he have this unbelievable amount of inflammation at all times? It's weird.
But also because my wife, and she's not swinging a bat or anything, but I know that with carpal tunnel and there's another kind of, I don't know what it exactly, ailment that is like carpal tunnel, and that they have the best doctors on the planet in the medical center that can take care of that. And there's different ways to attack that to where, like I said, even if they can't do that now because of what it might do to the timetable of his return for the season, in the offseason, there's got to be something that can be done to rectify it. If indeed that's what it is.
I mean, it's that, but we don't know. That's the thing. We don't know. I'm not being dramatic, but this has the makings of a career issue. Look, it's not the first year he's had hand issues. He had the hand issues a few years ago, and Dusty didn't know which hand was hurt. Right. Yordan has never stayed healthy, will not stay healthy moving forward, and this will only get worse. Another texter saying trade him. You don't trade him whenever he's at his lowest. He needs to go to QC Kinetics, says a texter. All of Yordan's answers sound like a man trying to remember what he was told to say. Maybe he is being intentionally coy. Maybe him as a young player fears for the long-term health and wants to be 100% before he comes back, even if it means missing this year, even though missing this year is better than missing the next 2 or 3.
Let's go to the one before that, because the one before that is the one that kind of struck me, because when you look at all these quotes, he's emphasizing rest. And I think that this is a guy that isn't like on the last year of his deal where he can just say what he wants to say and air it out. He knows that his long-term contract has him associated with this franchise, but in a coy kind of way, he could be basically saying, we ain't rushing this time. I think I need rest. It seems like I need more rest. The best case scenario, I should be resting it, as if to say, without saying it, you guys rushed me the last time. We ain't doing that this time.
Yeah, I think it's plausible. Like everything's on the table because we don't know anything. Like it's the frustrating part of it.